Oh, it sure is. We ready to begin with governor's appointment, sir? Okay. Again, colleagues, returning to governor's appointments, file item number 32. Mr. Pro Tem.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Colleagues, we have file item number 32, appointments from the governor for the prestigious University of California Regents. We have before us Gareth J. Elliott. You all remember him as the Secretary of Legislative Affairs for Governor Jerry Brown. We have Mr. Eloy Oakley, who is the President / Superintendent of the Long Beach Community College District. And finally, we have Speaker Emeritus John A. Bettis. These appointments were heard in the Rules Committee September 2nd. They all passed on a bipartisan vote. No opposition to these appointees. Colleagues, we had a very thorough conversation with regards to inclusion of California students, what it's going to take policy-wise, and we came with the conclusion that these are three individuals who are not your regular appointees, but rather individuals who will definitely push the envelope to bring about much more inclusion at the University of California. Therefore, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion or debate? Senator Fuller.
I just want to say that as Rules Vice Chairman, we had a very healthy discussion about how these individuals would help work with the legislature and provide legislative oversight that seems to be missing from the UC at this time. And there are transcripts that have all of their questions and answers. They were very robust, and obviously if you look at the names, you know that at least two of them know intimately what it is that is required to work with the legislature and what the process is. So while I'm not calling for any particular vote from my group, I think that all of them embrace the idea that this is bigger than just us, that this is about helping the UC system come more in line with our expectations and our resources. So thank you. I'll be supporting it today.
Thank you very much. Any further discussion or debate? Seeing none, would you like to close, sir?
I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you very much. Please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Berryhill. I. Block. I. Canella. I. De Leon. I. Fuller. I. Gaines. I. Galgiani. I. Glazer. I. Hall. I. Hancock. I. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Wisso. I. Huff. I. Jackson. I. Lutta. I. Leno. I. Leva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. Mitchell.
Aye.
I. Monning. I. Morlock. I. Morrell. No. Wynn. I. Nilsson. I. Pan. I. Pavley. I. Roth. I. Runner. I. Stone. Vidak. I. Wachowski. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Call the absent members, please.
Bell. Mendoza. Aye. Stone. No. Wachowski.
The pro tem moves the call. Thank you. Senator Hueso, for what purpose do you rise?
Just simply to take up item AB 888 once again.
Thank you. Again, that was originally file item 28, AB 888. Let's have the secretary read again, please. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 888 by Assemblymember Bloom and Act relating to waste management.
Senator Hueso.
I think the some members that requested some time to review the bill have reviewed it. I think they've come back with ready to take up the issue again. So if there are any comments from the opponents, I'm willing to hear them out and then close out and ask for a vote on the bill.
So let's move on to discussion and debate. Senator Fuller, followed by Senator Stone. Senator Fuller.
I just want to say that the 30 minutes granted was very much appreciated. I think it worked well for the order of the House. We had a little bit of time to go over the amendments, and we were able to hear from the author himself, which we appreciated. We did, obviously, when it's not our bill, we always think that a one-word change is very, very simple, but sometimes it isn't. And so we did not come out with a position that's for everyone. Everyone will be voting their conscience. But unfortunately, we had hoped that the one word could be improved, and we understand why it can't. So, but thank you. I wanted to make sure that everybody in the House knew that it helped for us to have information and clarification and be granted the time for all of us to understand the author's point of view. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Stone.
Thank you, Madam President, and I want to thank the senator from Imperial County for giving us the time to better educate ourselves on the amendments, and certainly I want to thank the author for coming into our caucus and explaining his position on the amendments that he took and what they in fact meant. And I want to say how much, I appreciate a process that allows all of us, Republicans and Democrats, to come together and compromise on bills in the best interest of our constituents and industries in the state of California. When I was lobbied by many of the groups that were opposed to this bill, the number one issue was the term natural products. And I want to say thank you to the author for taking amendments that struck the word natural products. Yes, there was one word that we would have liked to seen in the legislation, and the author has very well articulated why he doesn't want those in the legislation. But he also made a commitment to me that he would work with industry after the first of the year to ensure that any of these products that are synthesized, that are biodegradable, will have a fair and appropriate process for approval to go into topical products. So the only criticism that I have, my friends, today is that we get amendments on the day of the hearing. The opponents don't have a chance to understand them. The members are caught off guard because we don't know what they mean. And as a result of even just this minor delay, which was unfortunate because we all had to take a recess, we all had to, we're paid by the taxpayers. It's taxpayer money that's paying our salaries. We had to go sit in caucus and understand these things when the appropriate time would have been to hear this on Tuesday. But as a result of the amendments that have been taken, I'm very proud to say that many of those that were opposed to the bill are now neutral on the bill, including the Consumer Specialty Products Association, the Automotive Specialty Products Alliance, American Chemistry Council, American Cleaning Institute, SPI, the Plastics Industry Trade Association, Consumer Electronics Association, Information Technology Industry Council, California Retailers Association, the Fashion, Jewelry, and Accessories Trade Association, Society of Chemical Manufacturers and Affiliates, American Coatings Association, California Paint Council, Computing Technology Industry Association, American Composites Manufacturing Association, Styrene Information and Research Center, International Fragrance Association, North America, Juvenile Products Manufacturers Association, and maybe even more that just haven't had the time to register the neutrality on this bill. The bottom line is we are accomplishing a very important thing here today. We're taking these microbeads that have environmental impacts off the market. Certainly in the state of California, we urge that the manufacturers take them out of their products nationally, but I hope that we are preserving the ingenuity, the entrepreneurship of engineers and scientists that will come up with wonderful products that can help our youth address their acne issues. And so once again, I appreciate the time. I hope that this is a lesson for the body that just give us some time. Republicans don't want to be the party of no. Republicans want to be the party of doing what's in the best interest of all of our constituents. We want to be a part of the process, and I appreciate that you allowed us to do so. I'll be voting in favor of the measure today.
Senator Anderson.
I just want to thank the floor manager for being so kind with his time and allowing us to review the amendments.
You're welcome. Senator Pro Tem.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I'm very elated to hear that there's been a lengthy and earnest discussion on this issue, AB 888. As we all know, this bill could have been heard third reading on Tuesday. It was wharfed to the consternation of some folks. And I am elated, and I want to thank the Republican leader also, too, for her leadership from within her own caucus to find a compromise. I want to recognize the member from East County of San Diego. He made a request, and that request was honored by the floor jockey of this measure. However, I want to say the following, and I want to underscore that this, again, and I'm actually going to validate one of the points that were just highlighted, that when we talk to each other and we find compromise, when we converse with each other, we can actually work very well together, and this body has done so. But we cannot use words like shenanigans. We cannot use words like unprofessional. We have to have a decorum in this legislative body. That's just the bottom line. And I do want to thank the leadership of the Republicans for finding that compromise. This is a fine example of finding that compromise. If we talk to each other first, an option was exercised at the request of the senator from East County, San Diego, and that option was granted. And as a result, good compromise came in, and I think there'll be support for this bill. So I just want to find, for the decorum of this body, let's converse, let's have those conversations. No matter how tough they may be, let's have those conversations. Thank you, Madam President.
And thank you, Mr. Pro Tem. Senator Hueso, I see no additional mics up for discussion or debate, so we'll ask you to close, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank everybody for working hard on this issue. This is going to wrap up a 3-year process of working on this legislation. There's been 3 years of discussion, public discussion. The policy has been debated, it's been reviewed, and in the final moments here today, I'm pleased to see that, you know, we responded by listening to the senators and seeing how we can adjust this bill to fit what they feel is good for their constituents. I think this is monumental legislation. I think, once again, California will lead the world in very important public policy that other communities will adopt. They will see that it works for California, and they will also want to do the same in protecting their communities, the health of their constituents, and the health of Mother Earth. So thank you, everybody, for working together on this measure. And with that, I will ask everyone to please join in supporting this monumental legislation.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. I. Anderson. No. Bates. No. Bell. Berryhill. No. Block. I. Canella. No. De Leon. I. Fuller. No. Gaines. No. Gaggiani. I. Glazer. I. Hall. I. Hancock. I. Hernandez. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Hueso. I. Huff. No. Jackson. I. Lara. I. Leno. I. Leva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. I. Mitchell. I. Monning. I. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. No. Nielsen. No. Pan. Pavley. I. Roth. No. Runner. No. Stone. I. Vidak. No. Wachowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Call the absent members.
Bell. Hernandez. I. Pan.
Ayes 24, noes 14. The measure passes. Colleagues, we are now going to Senate third reading. We will work from file items 65 through 69. File items 65 through 69. File item 65. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Senator Monning, for what purpose
I'm
do you
sorry,
rise?
Madam President, privileges of the floor. At the request of the author, please move AB 930, Irwin, to the inactive file.
The desk will note.
Thank you.
Returning to Senate third reading, file item 65, SCR 80, Senator Runner. Senator Runner, file item 65, SCR 80. Pass on file. File item 66, SCA 8, Senator Mendoza. Pass on file. File item 67, Senate Bill 681. Pass on file. File item 68, SR 46, Senator Hueso. Pass on file. File item 69, SR 47, Senator Hall. Not at his desk. That's it. We're going to proceed on to Assembly third reading. We will begin with the following 5 file items. File item 85, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, and 97. I'll repeat. File items 85, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, and 97. Beginning with file item 85. AB 195, Senator Hancock. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 195 by Assemblymember Chow, enacting to computer crimes.
Senator Hancock.
Thank you, Madam President and Senators. AB 195 would protect individual privacy by making it a crime to assist in the solicitation of a hacker to illegally access a computer network. As we live in a digitally connected world where more and more devices are equipped with sensors and connected to the internet, there have been new forms of cyber crimes and invasions of privacy leading to identity theft, fraud, personal embarrassment, things that take years sometimes from which to recover. Under current law, it's a crime to solicit another person to commit certain crimes, such as bribery, kidnapping, and robbery. It is also a crime for a person to knowingly hack into another person's computer network without permission. But it is not a crime to solicit hacking services from someone, so you get someone to do it for you. At a time when cybersecurity is a growing issue of concern, AB 195 will provide law enforcement with the tool to deter those who wish to commit cybercrimes. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Any discussion or debate on this measure? Any discussion or debate? Seeing none, is there any objection to the use of unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 39, noes 0. The measure passes. We're going to return, colleagues, to Senate third reading, file item 69. Senate third reading, file item 69. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Resolution 47 by Senator Hall relative to Diabetes Awareness Month.
Senator Hall.
Yes, thank you, Madam President, SR and members. SR 47 declares November 2015 Diabetes Awareness Month and encourages Californians to seek early screening and treatment to reduce the short and long-term health impacts of this potentially deadly disease. Senators, diabetes, as you all know, is a national health crisis. More than 30 million Americans and over 40 million Californians live with diabetes. Many more live undiagnosed. This chronic disease, for which there is no known cure, is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. Minority communities and lower socioeconomic communities, like those in my district, are at an especially higher risk for this disease due in part to the lack of access to quality health foods. There is a lot we as a state and as a nation need to do to help residents live healthier lifestyles and ultimately find a cure for this disease. Until then, SR 47 recognizes the important work that families, health care providers, and the public plays to reduce the rate of diabetes and its serious and too often fatal outcomes. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Senator Hueso.
Thank you, Madam President. As Vice Chair of the Latino Caucus, I rise in support of the measure. Also, as the son of a victim of diabetes, I rise in support of the measure. This is a scourge on the Latino community in particular. I know many more people are affected by diabetes, but we need to, diabetes can be prevented. People can learn about how to improve the quality of their lives and prevent diabetes. We need to work harder to educate people on how they can prolong their lives by avoiding diabetes. Thank you to the author for working hard on this important community health measure.
Thank you. Senator Gaines.
Yes, I want to thank the author for bringing this resolution forward and how important it is that we educate Californians. And this is an epidemic that is spreading in our children, and we've got to tackle it. It's an issue of making sure that we're properly educating our children. And California is just not simply spending enough money to make sure that we're addressing this issue. So I urge an aye vote, and I'm hoping that we can do more in the future on this issue. Thank you.
Please close, sir. He asked for an aye vote. Thank you. Is there objection to the use of unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 39, noes 0, the measure passes. We're going to return to file item 38. File item 38 under unfinished business. Senate Bill 695, Senator De Leon. Senator De Leon, file item 38, Senate Bill 695. Colleagues, this will be the last bill we take up, and we'll be proceeding on to motions and resolutions. Senator De Leon, please read.
Senate Bill 695 by Senator De Leon and Act relating to school curriculum.
Senator De Leon.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Colleagues, SB 695, jointly authored by my colleague from Santa Barbara, is back for concurrence. These amendments taken in the Assembly are technical in nature. This is a bill that has had overwhelmingly bipartisan support in both houses, the Assembly as well as the Senate. And I will say by teaching our youth about conservative consent and healthy relationships, we will be building a strong foundation for our young men, our young women, a strong foundation for our schools, a strong foundation for our community, so we can understand, so we can learn about what sexual assaults are all about. Especially young men will have an opportunity to change culture, which is absolutely necessary and critical if young men and women are going to develop and create healthy relationships as they become adults. With that, Madam President, as well as colleagues, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Any discussion or debate? Senator Jackson.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, I want to deeply thank my joint author here, our President Pro Tem, for his longstanding work and real understanding of how critical it is that we do as much as we can to educate our youth about the importance of healthy relationships, which is what this bill does. And we must do more to empower students in our schools so that they can better respond to and address this whole epidemic of sexual assault and violence in our school. This is on concurrence, so I won't go into great detail other than to say how important this legislation is and how critical it is that we continue this effort throughout the educational process so that we can change a culture that desperately needs that change.
Thank you.
With that, I would urge an aye vote.
Thank you. Any further discussion or debate? Any further discussion or debate? Seeing none, is there any objection to the use of unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 40, noes 0. The amendments are concurred in. Colleagues, we're going to lift the call on file item 32, the governor's appointments. Please call the absent members.
Bell, aye. Wachowski, aye.
Ayes 38, noes 2. The appointees are approved. Our final actions for today, colleagues, we will return to motions and resolutions before we go into extraordinary session. Motions and resolutions. Senator Lara, for what purpose do you rise?
Thank you, Madam President. At the request of the author, please move file item 154 to the inactive file.
File item 154, could you give us the bill number, please?
First, apologize, AB 635.
Thank you, sir. The desk will note. Senator Liu, for what purpose do you rise?
Thank you, Madam President. At the request of the author, please remove AB 531, file item 92, to inactive file.
Thank you. The desk will note. Motions and resolutions? Motions and resolutions. Without objection, pursuant to Joint Rule 33.1, Joint Rule 61 will be suspended to allow the Elections and Constitutional Amendments Committee to meet and hear AB 1544 after the deadline. This request has been approved by the Rules Committee. Without objection, Joint Rule 62A will be waived for the Elections and Constitutional Amendments Committee to meet and hear AB 1544 without 4 days' notice in the daily file. Colleagues, at this time, the regular session will stand in recess and the first extraordinary session will be convened. The prayer and the pledge will be deemed complete. We're going to move directly into motions and resolutions under the extraordinary session. And so we are going to withdraw the motion on AB 3. There is a letter at the desk requesting to withdraw it and order it to third reading. Is there any objection to this action? There is objection. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. Bates. No. Bates. No. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. No. Block. Aye. Canella. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. Gaines. No. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Aye. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Lara. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. No. Nielsen. No. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. No. Stone. No. Vidak. No. Wykowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye. Fuller, no.
Ayes 25, noes 12. The measure is withdrawn from committee and ordered to third reading. At this time, the first extraordinary session will stand in recess and the second extraordinary session will be convened. The prayer and pledge will be deemed complete. In the second extraordinary session, we'll move directly into motions and resolutions where there is a motion to withdraw AB 1 from committee. Is there any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing objection, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll to remove AB 1 from committee. Please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. No. Bates. No. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. No. Block. Canella. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. No. Gaines. No. Galgiani. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Aye. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Lara. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. No. Nielsen. No. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. No. Stone. No. Vidak. No. Wykowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Call the absent members.
Block. Aye. Canella. Galgiani. Aye. Huff. No. Lara. Aye.
Ayes 26, noes 13. The measure passes. The measure is withdrawn from committee and returns to third reading. Is there any further business in the second extraordinary session? Seeing none, at this time, the second extraordinary session will stand in recess and the regular session will be reconvened. Returning to motions and resolutions, Is there any other business to come before the House today? Senator Lara, for what purpose do you rise?
Thank you, Madam President. For the purpose of announcement,
Please proceed.
we have, members, we have a short appropriations hearing upon adjournment of session in room 3191. Thank you.
Appropriations Committee, room 3191. Any other announcements? Senator Nielsen, for what purpose do you rise?
On the condition of the file, Madam President.
Please proceed.
Madam President, I missed to have a couple of remarks on the last motion of the waiver of rules in the second extraordinary session related to the health care. I would just offer the reflection that there are some bills here to be considered, but Senator Stone and I have two very important bills that are directly applicable to the subject matter of that special session, and they were not granted such favor, not even a committee hearing, and I do object to that.
Thank you, sir. Your objection is noted. Any further business before the House today? If there is no further business, Senator De Leon, the desk is clear.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Colleagues, we did about 29 bills, of which 4 were Assembly bills and 25 were Senate bills. We're going to reconvene session on Tuesday at 12 o'clock. For members of the Rules Committee, we have Rules Committee at 11:45 a.m., room 3191, just right off the floor. Again, on Tuesday, 11:45 a.m., those who are members of the Rules Committee. Again, colleagues, 12 o'clock, we will reconvene on the floor at 12 o'clock sharp Tuesday. We will have 300 bills. We'll have 300 bills Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and if we don't finish our work, we will go into Friday. So overall, approximately 300 bills. With that, I hope you have a very wonderful Labor Day weekend. Please be safe. Have a wonderful time with your constituents and with your loved ones. Thank you very much, Madam President.
The Senate will be in recess until 5 p.m. today, at which time the adjournment motion will be made. We will reconvene on Tuesday, September 8th at 12 noon. Thank you.